So I'll do chest,
Yeah.
then back,
Yeah.
and then arms, and then legs, and then I'll just repeat.
What? You're not training every muscle twice a week?
Urs, how dare you? You've got to do it. No. Hey folks, it's me, Dr. Mike for RP Strength. I am a former professor of exercise and sports science, a current person who has 2 thumbs and, you know that joke, Scott?
Yeah.
Likes, blah, blah, I have other credentials or whatever, but I'm not the person that's important today. Today, the person that is important is from the countries of Europe, and his name is Urs. Which I think means bear in some Proto-Germanic Latin-esque language. And his last name is Kalecinski, which I bet nobody else says like that unless you're from Eastern Europe like your boy, which also tells me, is Urs from the East Germany part? Who knows? I'm just making shit up. He is a top physique competitor, classic man, and he's going to do some training. And I've got a few voices of my dumb bullshit voices to use on this. One is the European guy voice because like nothing really matters, and at the end, who cares? But also I've got my Arnold voice because if you are remotely German, then the Austrian, which is close enough. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's do it.
The ego is really, we all love to do some heavy stuff.
Pause. Scott, why does Urs have 10 lats where you're supposed to have 1?
He's pretty nuts.
What the hell? He's got like an upper back, and then his upper back has an upper back. All right, let's hear about the ego. Sam Sulek's listening to the ego thing and being like, shit. I'm going to be on the wrong side of this one.
Doing 6 plates.
It's so hard to tell somebody though.
Sam's like, for me personally, not wanting to hear this, put 8 plates on this mother.
But
You can't tell some kid, dude, half the weight is better.
Yeah, sure shit can. Hey kid, that's right, you. Half the weight is better. You little bitch. Just kidding, kid. Don't go do anything crazy like posting on Snapchat. No, facts. This is all true. Sam's on the right shit. It's a tough sell to be like, look, if you look weaker to everyone around you and yourself, you'll get better results at some distant point in the future. It's a tough sell for young people.
when it's not pressed out of your chest, probably not the best exercise to choose to develop a good
triceps
chest.
and shoulders.
Yeah.
Dope. I'm not saying much about this because the guys basically covered it. You're going to use an amount of weight that you can control and actually generate force with the muscles you're targeting. If you have to use so much weight that is ego fuckery and someone's like, dude, you get a good chest pump? You're like, not really. I think I hurt my left shoulder and my triceps are pumped. You're doing the wrong thing.
All right, come on.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Work it. Oh. That was an excellent set. Great control on the concentric big push, big resistance on the eccentric, full range of motion for a deep stretch every time, and excellent spotting by Sam, helping Urs just with that top little part just as much as he needs to keep pushing. And then lastly, he did some lengthened partials, so he did some partial reps at the end. The chest can't go full ROM anymore, but you might as well get these partials because they're actually really growth promoting. This is an awesome example of what a real great hard set looks like. And you get a lot of screaming and crying and psychosis, which is cool sometimes, but it fatigues the crap out of you. So Urs here is training about as hard training gets in the context of hard training that you want to be sustainable for weeks on end. And being a longtime Olympia competitor and an excellent champion of bodybuilding in his own right, he kind of knows at this point pretty much like what's going to be sustainable and what's not. This is a perfect example. This is a do what the teacher does as well as he teaches kind of moment.
You've been watching Jeff Nippert videos, lengthen partials.
Oh.
Honestly, I have no idea whose it is, because if you're under 5'6", I actually technically don't see you because you're not a man. Was that too harsh, Scott? Just tell me it was too harsh.
No, it's fine.
No, just real quick. Tell me it's too harsh.
It's too harsh.
Urs, why would you say that? Oh, sorry. In Europe, in the German, in Deutschland, we can be quite blunt, but you American, you're so soft. You can't take it. In the Canadian, never mind, my God. They've got too many feelings.
So I'll do chest, then back, and then arms, and then legs, and then I'll just repeat.
Is that one day? I'm kidding. Yeah.
What? You're not training every muscle twice a week?
Urs, how dare you? You've got to do it. No. All right, let's hear his logic.
Oh, that's twice every 8 days. That's basically twice a week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Oh, yeah, I guess that's how math works. God damn it.
I did the same for years. Basically a 4 days on, 1 day off split.
Yeah.
And then it rotated.
I did that a long time. I did push, pull, legs, shoulders and arms, rest, repeat a ton. I also did push, legs, pull, or some version of that, rest, repeat a ton. It's a great split. It's an excellent split, and I can't take anything away from it. There's like nuances for some situations, but it's a really good split.
I'll throw a rest day in when necessary.
Yeah.
Great idea. I'm going to rant about this really quick. An asynchronous split that's auto-regulated, that like when you're healed, you go, and when not, you can take an extra day off, is super, super awesome. Because assuming that when you train chest on Monday, you're going to be healed by Thursday is a good assumption if you're auto-regulating properly. And if you're using the RP Hypertrophy app, Max, enjoy your most impressive physique ever. And the RP Hypertrophy app is designed to make this possible. You can customize every single aspect of your training plan, or let the app's AI take the lead. Whichever combination you use, your results will climb higher than ever. All you have to do is bring the effort. Click on the link in the description of this video to get started. But even if you're using the app, sometimes you're like still sore and still tired and you're not good to go. So if you're training really hard and you're really invested into your physique, an asynchronous split can be really good, or what's called a floating split. You just have days in a row that you do. And just like Sam said, anytime you want to take an extra day for recovery, or you did 4 days straight and then you don't need that extra day and you just go another 4 days, it's totally cool. I'm doing that right now and I love it. I love it. I love it. There's nothing wrong with a split that's dedicated weekdays, Monday this, Wednesday that, Friday that. That's totally cool. But if you're training to the next level, you have a decent amount of free time and flexibility, or you don't have a lot of flexibility and sometimes your schedule gets crazy and you have to punt, the asynchronous or floating split is awesome. You can make both split types in the RP Hypertrophy app, by the way. It's just if you create your program, do you label the days or you just choose no label? Because if it's no label, it's like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and whenever you finish the last day, you go on to the next. That simple. A classic pullover machine. Are they training a museum? Oh yeah. I think this might actually be Das Gym, maybe in Austria, potentially, or a few other places in the world. Old school ass equipment, dude, that's baller. And it's got a cam setup, so it's probably harder at the top and easier at the bottom. Man, this is dope AF. I love it. And you see how wide it is? Urs fits in there. It's f***ing wide. I'm jealous. Get you a pullover machine. Look at that control on the eccentric. He didn't just bust back down. Total control all the way down. And look at how far he's reaching back. Folks, Urs is a jack dude. His back is enormous. His delts are enormous. His chest is enormous. His traps are huge. He doesn't have a whole lot of room back there, but on sheer weight and sheer practice, he's able to pull super, super far in that position. The more you pull the lats apart and the more force they have to generate to come back at that length and position, the more growth you get. Be like Urs and reach all the way the back in your overhead back movements and you will benefit 100%. You might even get so jacked that a nice lady friend comes and spots you at the gym and then looks like an opera conductor while you're lifting. And of course, Urs is a German man. Oh, that was, I don't know, insert name of, that was Oppenheimer, some shit like that. Hey, if you're into classical music, don't bother commenting any actual composer names from Germany because nobody gives a shit. I'm kidding. Jesus Christ. Yeah, why not? Schopenhauer, is that a real one?
Schopenhauer, yeah. Well, you're nailing them.
you. Scott, I'm metaphorically taking your violin and breaking it over my knee right now. Hey, nerd, get a real hobby. Awesome. Even when he's in pain, he's riding out that whole eccentric phase. One thing I've said before that I'll be quoting myself, lifting for size isn't about getting reps done. It's about getting one rep at a time in its own atomized view as perfectly as you can do it. And then rep 2 just by itself. And then rep 3 just by itself. These are the reps that I'm talking about. Every single rep here, I can just feel the growth coming across the fucking screen. And you probably can too. This is some real good stuff. Scott, look, she's back to a more of the conduction.
Conduction? Yeah.
Isn't that what that is? A little bit of a forced rep there. Very good. And then ride all the way back down. Gorgeous. This gym is the shit. Unless it's that one place in Columbus, the sure shit looks like, I don't know, either Dungeon or Das Gym or some shit. All right, we have chest supported rows here. Let's go. Scott, could you pick a more German soundtrack than this?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
We are clubbing. Actually, after the last Olympia, Urs posted a picture of himself and like next to a DJ in a booth in front of a rave. And I was like, yep. Any suspicion this is not actually German is bullshit. Because there's only one kind of music. It's called house music. Get to know it. It's the future of the world. These are really good reps. Full stretch, mega contraction, no BS. For that machine, that's actually a crap load of weight, which explains his enormous back. And you'll notice that he's got VersaGrips on. VersaGrips, there's a link in the description and a code and all that stuff for you guys to save, is the ultimate grip device. So far discovered. The way they discovered VersaGrips was they actually had a spacecraft land on Mercury. It is desolate. There's nothing on it except a pile of VersaGrips. And they're like, what are these for? They took them back. They analyzed them. They can't be analyzed with spectrometer. We don't even know what they're made of. But whatever they're made of, that is probably not toxic, is an incredibly high friction material. And so when you wrap them around the bar and you wrap over, all you have to do is hold your fingers over them, and then you can focus entirely on two things. One, connecting with your back musculature, and two, raw power and putting in that force and actually trying intensity, because you don't have to worry about your grip. As soon as you're not worried about your grip, not only do you get more effective reps per set and thus more growth, you can try harder in both forcing the muscle to do its job and connecting with a muscle to make sure it's the one contracting. Training your back with VersaGrips is a category above training your back or shoulders or anything else that you require grip assistance with than without, and I highly recommend you check them out. Anyway, more information.
When I trained with Dorian Yates like two years ago,
Yeah.
he introduced me into this rest pause shit. Drop sets was like first 5 years my favorite intensifier.
Now it's the rest
But
pause.
the rest pauses, they're gonna f you up.
What's the difference between drop sets and rest pause? Drop sets, you do sort of very close to failure set with a certain weight, and then you change the weight to something lighter, something usually often 20% lighter, maybe even 30 or 40% lighter. And then without much rest, you go in and you do that set again. And you can even do more drop sets, keep dropping the weight by 10 or 20 pounds and hit another sets. Totally great way to train. It does require you to stand up and alter the machine and get back in. With rest pause, which the most common way people use it as a version of Maya reps really, is you do as many reps as you can or something close to that. You rest for a few seconds, and then the same weight you hit it again, rest for a few seconds and again. That has the two added benefits. It allows the weight to be very high. Some people get more out of heavy weight than lighter weight. And it allows you to not have to transition, and you save all your energy and mental bandwidth staying in the machine, staying in the exact perfect spot. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then you just get to stay right connected with everything. It's awesome. Now, Does that mean one is better than the other? No, absolutely not. But both are awesome in their own separate special ways. So it's just an amazing thing about variation. Imagine you were eating rice and someone was eating pasta and they're like, what's the deal with rice? Is it better? You'd be like, no, but it's cool every now and again when you get sick of pasta and vice versa. Some of you may say, Mike, it's impossible to get sick of pasta. I totally agree. Pasta is my spirit food. But in exercise and in training, sometimes even if two things accomplish roughly the same thing, just because they're different, use one of them until you get sick of it, use another until you get sick of it, and vice versa. It keeps the training fresh, it keeps it fun, and it's always going to be effective. So I would try both.
When I watched the video from you, it was either like something with food because I was on prep, or it was a leg day. Then I can see, okay, is this a guy I want to train with as well?
And then I concluded absolutely not, because I don't like how you look and just how you sound. But then one of my producers said it's probably good for collabs and views to meet up with Sam. And I said, okay, very well. I don't like the Americans, but fine. And then I smoked a cigarette and here I am. That's what he really said. Now let's find out what he alleges to have said in this actual video of him talking.
In terms of intensity, or is it just like we do some extensions, some lying leg curls, and finish off with some like stack loaded leg press?
Oh my gosh, right?
So
yeah, you can get a lot out of isolations, but it really comes down to being honest with yourself. If you know you get better workouts with compound heavy ass movements taken through a full range of motion, but you don't want any of that kind of noise because it hurts your ego and it makes you scared of weights, you got some thinking to do. If you actually get a better stimulus to fatigue ratio out of machines and isolation stuff, God bless you, do them till you're blue in the face. But a lot of times people avoid movements that are tough, and everyone knows you're avoiding it because it's tough and not because it's like biomechanically inefficient or some shit like that. And look, no big deal. It's between you and God, but doing the hard shit when the hard shit works the best is just a pill you're going to have to swallow. One time, I was at a university. I was being recruited for sports, and I was at a fraternity party, and they gave me this pill, and I was like, what is this? And they're like, it's just a pill you have to swallow. I did, and then I swallowed a whole lot of something else afterwards, and it was not alcohol, Scott. But it turns out that we have a terrible problem in our country of just thousands of frat boys walking around having not been drained of their male juices. Folks, there is still more video to come, but if you subscribe to be one of our members, you pay a little bit of money, you get an extra long form, super uncut version of this video, of every other exercise science video that we've did for every Friday for the last good God year or something like that. And you get tons of other bonus videos that are super intellectual, training logs with myself and IFBB Pro Jared Feather, and the whole thing. Give the member section a look. And now back to the video. So these are low rows. Some people really like them to connect to the lower kind of outer part of their lat. People swear by it. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. I personally hate this exercise. I feel dick doing it, except for my shoulders. Like, why are we doing this? But IFBB Pro Jared Feather loves this exercise. And the thing with me is that of all of my dog shit muscle groups, my back, specifically my rear lat spread, is like, a lot of criticisms are true about me, but my back's the biggest. And so a lot of times I'm probably just not the person to ask about how to train back the most effectively at a high level, because like I just kind of trained my back in a bunch of different ways and none of them ever didn't really not work. It just kept getting bigger. Jared Feather has an unbelievable body, 50 leagues ahead of mine in every way, but he's struggled and successfully overcome not so great genetics for his back. And if Jared thinks this is a great exercise, and if Urs is using it, I think it's probably a good idea for you, especially if you struggle with back development, to give it a shot. Control, big stretch at the bottom, little clicking at the top, and control, just like Urs is doing it, is a really, really good time.
Hier war mir einfach.
What was that German shit? Anytime German people start talking in their shit, I'm like, what y'all motherfuckers saying? I know where this goes. Shit. Oh, cool. We got the 2-arm version of that. Guys, notice how far he's reaching forward and how much he's rounding his back. That is a critical part of the movement. Don't just stop and go back like this. Back rounding and then the back arching and the back rounding and the back arching is a mega growth hack. That's right. You can get on a computer and go, and then the code starts doing that, and then you get a bigger back. That's how that works. Length and partials. I love it. Perfect way to end back is to do the part you can. He's trying, huh, Scott?
He always really tries. More than probably, what, 90% of bodybuilders?
I would say just on visual analysis, Urs trains harder than 90% of all the pros we've ever seen train. My man. Dude, it would be sweet if we got a chance to work out with him, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we met him in Vegas. He
seems amenable. Urs, stop playing. Let's get you on the channel, big pimp. All right, that was fun. You know, I go into these with like trying to be silly. Okay, I'm not trying to be silly. It's just who I am. I take that back. Trying to encourage a positive attitude and to try to extract as much wisdom as I can from these analyses and talk the smack and the bullshit. Keep it lighthearted for sure. Definitely want to talk some shit. I also want to make sure that I'm being respectful, unless you're an insane Hollywood person or a fucking liar charlatan like some of the people I've done before, then you. But to folks like this that are really trying a God-honest way, always try to be really respectful and try to extract wisdom. But I will say that Urs made this incredibly easy for me because almost all the training that he's doing is so goddamn good that like I just don't have much to say. And my ideal version of this little Friday show that we do is I don't really talk much. I just explain the rationale between why people are doing certain things so that you guys can learn it and apply it to your own training. And goddamn, if Urs is not a perfect example of that. And to be honest, Sam Sulek as well, because in this video, he's spitting some mad fire wisdom on you motherfuckers. So I rate Urs as the perfect German male out of 10. Anyway, Urs, you're the man. And everyone follow Urs because, I don't know, he's kind of really, really good at this. And I predict great things for the rest of his career. I'm not really good at predictions. We'll see if I'm right. 3, 2, 1. Shut up, Mike. The show is over. Peace, homies. Okay, that was fun and decidedly European. And so if you want to do something really cool, as you could click on this video right here. But honestly, like, who cares about videos and who cares about everything? Just go to a dance club and dance the night away. Auf Wiedersehen.